Brittany here with day 36 of our 67 days towards our own at-home practice and a review of our entire week before. Today's practice is going to be short but sweet. We're just going to go through the functional alignment in each of the postures we learned this week, how to get our body into them the best way. Since we've already practiced, we've already loosened up our own way, we can kind of just get the nuances of the postures and put ourselves into them. We are going to tune in with our breath, but really short, and then we're going to talk a little bit about santosha and contentment and that core value and why we explored it for a week and how we're going to start bringing the yamas and niyamas into our sessions from here on out. So let's get going. We're going to start in sitting up nice and tall, sliding the hands in, nice heart opening, 3 deep inhale and exhales through our nose. Slow and steady. And 4 ujjayi breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Hands to our heart, setting an intention for our practice. Today, I offer you the value of satya, or honesty, and just being honest with yourself as we're reviewing these postures. Maybe doing it the perfect way isn't exactly how you can do it today, but embracing that, accepting that if that's the case, and working towards it, or just being honest with yourself on how your body feels and how each posture feels to you today. That's a nourishing intention, not setting any other intention that'll keep your mind on your mat. And then grounding the palms. This is a new intention for us after a week of santosha. And santosha, or exploring our contentment this past week, if we took that intention seriously and we took that intention on, it may have been difficult for us because some of us like to be a little bit more grumpy and not always look at things from a more thankful, grateful, contented perspective. But these yama and niyamas that we've been learning, we're going to be learning a lot more about in the next 5 weeks before the end of our 67 days together. We're going to be learning 2 a week and just kind of going them in depth, and they're going to be complements to this video. So check underneath this video today to learn a bit more about santosha and exploring contentment. Without further ado, sitting up nice and tall. And then now that you're there, we're going to get onto our hands and our knees because we are actually just exploring our heart openers today. The first part we're going to explore is just our cat-cows because we want to loosen up our spine. So our palms are going to be nice and wide. Let me get this down so that you can see onto the floor. All right. So the palms are going to be nice and wide. We're going to be hugging our shoulders. Now, you can see it when I let my shoulders sink in, they're going to be coming up to my neck. We're going to press through our palms, through our fingers, so that our shoulders in our tabletop are in line with one another. This is more like we want to be for our cat. This is how we want to be for our cow. When we are in just our tabletop, we want to be right in the center so that those different inflections make sense to us and are actually providing our body some comfort. Okay? So as we inhale, the first thing is we're hugging our shoulders together in the back, but we don't want to let them come up to our ears. We want to hug them together in our back so that they're away from our ears as we drop the hips and drop the butt. So our palms are still underneath our shoulders. We're hugging the shoulders together in the back. Our eyes are up. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. Just closing our eyes, feeling the posture, and noticing how it feels. And now we are going to inflect back, coming into our cat. Hugging our belly into our back, pressing through our fingers. And as I press through the fingers, notice how my shoulders move up and I'm no longer sinking into the ground. Now my shoulders are now a dynamic part of this stretch, and that's a good thing. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to let our chin come into our chest and our belly come into our back. Deep breaths here. And then just gently coming back to our center. These complementary poses, as we learned this week, they help inflect our spine. As we inflect our spine in one direction, we want to complement in the other direction so that we're not creating imbalance in our body. Hatha yoga, which we're practicing mainly, is all about creating balance, a balance between our sun and our moon, our yin and our yang, our introvert and our extrovert, all of the opposites within us, balancing those out to harmony. So we have to be balanced. So we're going to start off, we're going to go into our cobras and our up dogs, which we've already known. Our cobra pose, palms right underneath the shoulders. Now, they're going to also be nice and wide. When we have our hands wide and we grip the mat, it takes tension off our wrists and it makes it a little bit easier. When you notice you're pressing through your fingers, your chest wants to lift up. And that's what we're going for here. So we're going to press through our fingers, lifting our chest so that our belly button is the last thing on our mat. Now, a lot of us want to have our shoulders out like this, pushing our body up. No. This is about pressing through the fingertips, least resistance, less effort. When our elbows are actually out here and we're pushing like this, it's actually a lot more effort and it's more strenuous on our body. So the palms are going to be gently tuned out to the side. Our pointer fingers are going to be what's facing forward. Pressing through the fingers up into our cobra. Hugging the shoulders together, eyes up. 3 deep breaths here. Just 2 more. You're going to feel this in the back of your shoulders, the back of your arms, and that's normal. And then we're going to come down. We're going to spread our feet so they're about a mat's width apart. We're going to push back. Notice my knees are going to be wide as I push back. Ankles together, coming into my child's pose. This is my complementary stretch for when I'm going into my cobra. Other ones that work are downward facing dog. And another awesome one we'll learn eventually is extended puppy, which we do a variation of that in our sun salutations when our forearms and foreheads are down. So a full expression of extended puppy. The arms are just out completely, and that's another awesome counteracting pose to any of these heart openers. But we're going to stay in our child's, just 2 more deep breaths. And in this, you want to let go of tension and just feel your comfort. The heart opener is where we're doing most of the work. So a little bit more rejuvenation. We're going to come back forward. This time, we're going to go into our upward facing dog. So from our tabletop, we do that pressing fleshy part of our toes on the mat, straightening out, surrendering the hips down, hugging the shoulders together in the back, pressing through the fingertips, surrendering the top of the feet down. And notice in the proper up dog, my body's actually hanging. I'm not grounded here. This is just a higher expression of our cobra. And a cobra's always bent elbows. Our up dog, our arms are straight. We're hugging the shoulders together. And we're letting our body do its stretching as our eyes go up and overhead. 3 deep breaths here. Pressing through the fingers, shoulders together in the back, elbows gently into the side. Then when we go into our down dog, we lift our hips and we come up onto our toes as if for a dancer and rolling over top of them, coming into our downward facing dog. That may not be easy for all of us. So for some of us, it may make more sense coming onto the knees here and pressing back into our down dog. Either way, it's our first down dog of a day. So let's bend our knees 1 at a time as we take 3 deep breaths here. Coming back forward, surrendering the knees. We're going to come onto our belly. And for our locust and our bow poses, we don't always counteract them because those are the bow poses. The locust pose is leading into the bow pose. It's just a minor heart opener. reaching the arms back, reaching the legs up. We're not forcing our body into place. It's a very light heart opener. The bow pose is more of a forcible. So that's why we complement that afterwards with the Sphinx, calming our body down, tuning our body down. So then when we go into our complementary pose afterwards, we're a little bit calmer, we're a little bit more settled. That's my logic behind that. Okay. So we're going to start off with our locust. In our locust, interlacing the fingers behind the back. You can have your head down. And then when you reach your shoulder back, you're going to notice your head doesn't want to stay down anymore. Kind of feels awkward. No, it's not that bad. But it don't matter. We want to reach our shoulders back, lifting our head up. For a lot of people, this is a beginner's locust pose. I think on Yoga Journal it even shows that this is locust pose. The way I learned it in India, we reach our feet up, we reach our shoulders back, and then we keep on reaching our feet higher, our back higher, our chest higher, coming more back and hollowing out our back a little bit more, and just deepening the stretch that way. Just taking 3 deep breaths here. And wherever we're at, if the legs just feel like too much, grounding them down, doing what's most nourishing for you. One more deep breath. Then releasing down. When we come in and we take a break between these, we want to switch the side that our head's on. Because when we look in the different directions, everything's about balance and hatha yoga and keeping that balance. So when we're doing it left, next time we want to look right. Because even these minor stretches are really good for our neck, really rejuvenative. And when we're already focusing on our breath, it's going to make it that much more healing for our neck. Okay? So the last big back bend heart opener of the week is our bow pose. Bringing our ankles in, grabbing hold of our ankles, and pressing them away from the body. Now, when you're here, if you're doing this the easy way, simply pressing the ankles away should be enough. Maybe in the beginning this is as far as you get. Maybe you're right here. But as you keep learning to press those ankles away, they're going to get higher and you're going to get higher. So you're going as high as you can and taking 3 deep breaths. As you can see, it's kind of hard to breathe here. And that's normal. It's a better reason to keep it slower and steadier. Then coming back down. We bring our palms underneath our shoulders. Press up into our Sphinx. Elbows right underneath our shoulders. Hugging our shoulders together in the back. Palms down. Pressing through the fingertips. Notice this is me normal. Hands are just down, chilling. It's good. Makes it more of a heart opener. Pressing through the fingers. Chilling. Pressing through the fingers. Makes all the difference. Hugging those shoulders together. 3 deep breaths here. Just one more. Legs nice and wide. Coming back into our child's. Now, for this, I have us going into the child's pose first, grounding our forehead, focusing on our breath. We're going to do that now, and as we do, we're going to notice our lower back. Going those 3 heart openers without a complementary move in between, you're going to notice you're going to have more tension in your lower back. That's normal. It's also a testament to why these complementary poses are so important and spending time with them. And that's also why we spend a little bit more time in here twisting it up and softening our shoulders after putting a lot of movement on them. So we're taking our deep breaths here, then interlacing our right arm underneath, bringing our top arm over our head, taking 3 deep breaths here. This is going to loosen up our shoulder and make it feel a lot better after poses like up dog or cobra, where they're a little bit more extensive on our body. And then gently switching sides, left shoulder down, left temple down. Slow and steady breathing here, starting to tune out. And then gently coming over, coming onto our back, we are going to ground the soles of our feet and lay down just like this. We're just going to chat during our Savasana because this was a shorter practice. The relaxation, this is going to be enough relaxation to just make us feel, let our body take it in as we're listening. We are going to engage our Savasana with our soles of our feet grounded because these heart openers are very lower back intensive, as I was saying. And grounding the feet like this, you notice your lower back is nice and grounded. It's making sure that if we set anything, put anything in a sensitive place, that when we bring our feet down just like this, it's going to help put it back into a nice place. So that's another reason why we go into poses like our bridge pose from here, because we're immediately just nurturing that low back and making sure that it's feeling good after stretching it out and putting a lot of pressure on it. So this is one easy way to nurture your lower back when some of the postures are feeling like a bit much for it. So we have that, and just overall in our heart opening practice, also reminding that it's really normal when we begin our heart opening that we're releasing a lot of emotions. Nowadays in our desk sitting days, and it's kind of a colder culture that we live in. It's a lot more black and white and yang focused, and in it being more of an extroverted culture, we tend to we're tuning in a bit more because we're losing our balance. So we're storing, in yoga we say it's storing karma in our body, it's storing our imbalances in our body, and that's just, you could say that in any way you want, but quite simply, we've stored all this tension that's making it easy for us to be like this and hard for us to open our hearts. So this practice is bound to stir up a lot of emotions as we're releasing this stuff from your body. So that's normal too. So anytime you're practicing heart opening, if you're feeling sad, mad, angry, glad, whatever you're going through, never letting yourself think that it's not normal. So just some tips from this heart opening week. We'll come back up onto our seat when we're ready. Bringing our hands to heart center, bowing to one another, remembering closing our eyes and reflecting on our intention, being honest with ourselves or any other intention we set, then bowing to our beautiful bodies and honoring the light within one another that is the same. Namaste, and thank you so much. I know this is a little bit different format from the other weeks, but that's the kind of how this program is rolling out as we're getting more comfortable with each other and as we're putting more into our practice, going a little bit deeper and learning a little bit more. So I hope you understand, I hope you appreciate, and I hope you come back tomorrow for more of our new week. See you then. Namaste.